Well, hello there. My name's Brent Smith, and I'm the Common Constitutionalist. Welcome once again to another edition of the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and do something else. Share. We love to share. Sharing is good. It's American. It's patriotic, as Joe Biden would say. Today I'm going to be talking about one topic, and that's the Ma'Khia Bryant shooting incident. So that's what we'll be discussing right after this. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so first I want to preface this with Officer Nicholas Reardon. I think that's what his name was in this shooting. Columbus shooting is an absolute freaking hero. Okay, and I'll tell you why. And he acted heroic. He had incredible discipline. Everything that you need from a police officer, and actually everything you need from a military tactical standpoint, this dude was textbook freaking heroics, all right? From what the accounts are, and from people a lot smarter than I am, from the time that Officer Reardon got there after the 911 call, by the way, the 911 call was called in by the lady in pink, not from Ma'Khia Bryant, the assailant, okay? So that was a crock. So from the time Officer Reardon got there, it was a total of 9 seconds from the time he got out of his car, from the time he took the first shot at Ma'Khia Bryant. Unfreaking believable. So he had 9 seconds to get out of the car under absolute chaos around him, not knowing who else is armed, not knowing anything, frankly. He's going into this thing completely blind and almost without help at this point. So he doesn't even have his weapon out, as far as I can see, until Ma'Khia Bryant rushes out, knocks one woman to the ground, and then goes after the lady in pink. Whereas at that point, as soon as the lady was knocked down to the ground by Ma'Khia Bryant, this innocent 16-year-old TikTok video presenter, what a crock, Officer Reardon pulls his weapon. He's assessing the situation this whole time. Absolute bedlam and chaos is going on all around him. This guy has discipline out the wazoo, okay? To do this, to stay calm. You know the adrenaline's pumping. If you've ever been in a situation like this, you can't help but have adrenaline pumping, okay? So he stayed cool throughout this entire incident. He had 9 seconds to assess and act upon this thing. He draws his weapon. At the same time, Ma'Khia Bryant sees the woman in pink. I don't know what the altercation was, but Ma'Khia pushes the woman in pink up against a car, so she has no means of escape. Starts to wield back with the knife, and then Officer Bryant, within that 9-second span, puts 4 in her. This whole thing is miraculous, and kudos to Officer Reardon for his discipline, his accuracy under pressure, absolutely everything. And the fact that these morons, these leftist effing morons, excuse me, this kind of stuff really ticks me off. Because if you're not a shooter, okay, if you don't have any military training or police training or any kind of firearms training at all, advanced or otherwise, you aim for center mass, okay? Why do you aim for center mass? Because adrenaline's pumping, nerves are going, stuff's happening around you, you may have to be moving. You aim for the largest target. So if you miss by a few inches or 6 inches or 8 inches, you're still going to hit something. Why didn't they shoot her in the leg? Why didn't they shoot the knife out of her hand? This isn't Hollywood, you freaking boneheads. You guys don't have clue one. And basically all it does is shows what a bunch of ignoramuses, what a bunch of morons the left is. Why doesn't the officer just shoot the knife out of the woman's hand? And actually, to be honest with you, if he tried to shoot the knife out of the woman's hand, he would if he even hit it, it would have gone through, probably gone through the hand and hit the lady in pink and maybe killed her too. So there you go. That's the other thing. He under duress. Thanks, douche. Under duress, with all this adrenaline, with all the chaos going on and everything else that was going on in this situation, Reardon put 4 shots on target without hitting any other thing and without hitting any other person. That is unbelievable. That's discipline. That's skill, baby. And that's skill under fire and under duress. And there ain't no doubt about it. This guy has got it going on, man. This could have been a whole hell of a lot worse, okay? If he didn't have the training that he had, if he didn't have the skill, the discipline, and the mindset to be able to pull this off and pull this off properly, I'm telling you what, this could have gone bad real fast. He could actually shot the victim, the lady in pink, very easily, because from his standpoint, his vantage point behind Ma'Khia Bryant, she was between. Ma'Khia Bryant was between the officer firing and the pink lady against the car. This could have gone really wrong, really bad, and I guarantee you that woman is blessing Officer Reardon because she was going to be killed by that knife-wielding lunatic, 16-year-old innocent TikTok presenter. No, I'm sorry. That just doesn't cut it with me. But then you get, I'm just going to say it, a-hole, race-hustling pimps like Ibram Kendi that go on CNN or MSNBC or whatever it is, probably all of them, and ask the question, if this was an upper-class white neighborhood and a white girl was going to be stabbing another white girl, would the officer have shot, or would he have attempted to get the knife or somehow subdue her otherwise? If you saw this video, this dude had, well, at that point, he had probably a half a second to a second to make the decision to fire on this woman, on this girl, okay? Because she was in the act of winding up and moving forward with the knife. And he was, what, 5 feet away, 3 to 5 feet away? You can't close that distance in that amount of time. And if you've ever been in a situation like this, I don't care how skilled or unskilled you think the opponent's going to be, not to mention everyone else around. You don't know who's good, bad, or indifferent. If you try to engage hand-to-hand with somebody like that, something can and often does go wrong. I don't care how much skill you think you got. Short of being Superman, where somebody strikes you with a knife or Hancock and it just bends, things go wrong. Things go bad. You don't have any idea, okay? You have no idea if she's got another weapon. You don't know any idea if there's a friend behind her ready to shiv you in the back if you go for it. You don't have any freaking clue. You got to put that threat down, and you got to do it immediately. Because if you don't, that poor lady in pink is dead. It's dead, 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 okay? Because she didn't, this was not a shiv. Okay, this was not just a puncture, a press knife. It wasn't a little tiny. This was a big frickin' butcher knife, man. Okay, as the Hodge twins said, she would have stuck that knife through the lady's chest, and there'd be 3 inches sticking out the back. That's how big this knife was. Okay, they embellished it slightly, but not by much. Okay, so that is just it. I don't know. I don't have enough good to say about this officer, and I don't have enough bad to say about these evil SOBs that go on these news shows, these Monday morning quarterbacks, and they don't care what they say because there's no consequence to their actions. Nobody's going to sue them. Nobody's going to take them off the air. Nobody's going to affect their wallet or their pocketbook. Nothing's going to happen to these race-baiting a-holes. Okay, they are able to go on there, lie out their butts, do whatever they want to do with no consequence at all, like this Ibram Kendi guy and dozens of other leftist jerkwads that don't know their ass from their elbow, yet they come on and they say, why, you know, if this was a white girl, he wouldn't have shot her. Hell yeah, he would have. At that point, you don't see black, white, purple with pink polka dots. You just simply don't. All you see is the threat, and you know you've got to put down the threat, because your job is to protect that lady in pink. She's the one that called in to 911. She's the one that wanted to help, and you bloody well better help her. Oh, by the way, I got to apologize for my mode of dress. I just finished my latest driftwood beer bottle lamp concoction, or creation, concoction, whatever that. Okay, maybe beer. So I've got my workbench outside, getting some sun. Just finished up the lamp, so I just figured, why the crap not? I'll just pull the camera out and just do it here. So I'm dressed like a bum, but I'm getting some sun, got some work done, and yeah, buddy. So sorry about that. At any rate, not that I dress nicely, nicely anyway. Yeah, coat and tie, baby. Oh, and one more thing. I've got about wrapped this up. That's about all I've got to say on this incident. Reardon is a freaking hero. Everybody around that should have stopped and thanked him after the incident was over, because he certainly saved the lady in pink's life, and who knows what this Ma'Khia Bryant kid would have done after the fact. We don't know. No one knows at this point, and thank heavens we'll never have to find out whether she had other victims in mind at that point. Okay, so she was the assailant. It's all her fault. And the fact that these race hustling people come on and say, if it was a white woman, it would have been different. No, it wouldn't have been able. And you got the mother, crocodile tears. Sure, she lost a daughter. Okay, I feel from the humanity, from a human standpoint, I feel her pain. There's no doubt about it. I couldn't imagine going through something like that. But the point is that where was the mother? Because the kid wasn't living with the mother. The kid was in foster care. So where were you, Mom? What happened to you, Mom? Okay, if you had some sort of, I don't know. I'm not going to judge the mother. All I'm saying is that it just seems a little odd. Okay, I lost my baby. No, actually, you lost your baby a while ago. It's the same type of thing as the 13-year-old kid who was gunned down. I can't remember what his name was, by the officer. The 13-year-old did have a gun. He had joined a Chicago gang at 13. He was hanging out that night with a 21-year-old gang member. They were shooting cars. They were shooting at cars at the time. So don't tell me this kid was just an innocent little child. He wasn't an innocent. There was nothing little about him, too. He was a pretty big kid for 13. But there was nothing innocent about that kid. Now, at 13 years old, he was seriously led astray. So you got to blame the influence around him. Okay? I don't know if you could blame the parent. I don't know who you blame, but 13-year-olds don't just go bad on their own. Okay? Again, there was another incident in Chicago, I believe, where a 13-year-old black girl killed another, or I guess it was a preteen or teen, killed with a knife last week. Black girl in Chicago killed another black girl in Chicago about the same age, 13 or 14, whatever it is, children basically, knifed her to death. Did you hear anything about that? Did you hear a word about that? Okay? No, of course you didn't. You know why? Because there wasn't a white police officer involved. So the left, as usual, doesn't give a tinker's damn about these poor victims or even about these perps. Why are they doing what they're doing? They're doing what they're doing because people like Ibram Kendi and those type of people and LeBron James are filling their heads with hate. Hate, hate, hate from birth. Hate, hate, hate whitey. Hate the white man. Okay, it's not your fault. And they don't know how to process because they're not adults. Hell, half the adults don't know how to process either. That's all I'm saying, is that there was another stabbing incident a few days prior to the Ma'Khia Bryant stabbing incident. You never saw that on NBC, CBS, ABC, MSNBC, CNN. Nowhere. Nowhere did you see it. There was one local broadcast about it where they were interviewing the father of the victim. Nothing. Because it was black on black. Yes, it was a knife crime. Gun control, knife crime. but it was black on black, and no one gives a crap about that. Nobody on the left cares about you. If you're black, nobody on the left cares about you. None of these politicians, none of these race hustling pimps, none of these people give a flying crap about you. All they care about is what is advancing their agenda. And this is advancing their agenda. If some of these cities like Columbus or wherever, like Chicago or whatever, get their wish and they abolish the police, I feel for you people in the inner city, because you guys are going to be affected the most. It's going to be like the purge, man. All bets are going to be off, and I feel so bad for you. So you got to start getting out there and protesting these people instead of protesting, you know, the Republicans or Trump or whoever the heck it happened to be. You know, stop at the Black Lives Matter bullcrap. They don't care about you either. The Antifa people, they don't care about you either. None of these people care about you. Okay? It's human to human. That's what it is. We care. I sure as hell give a damn. On a human plane, I sure as crap give a damn. You don't want to see anyone killed. You don't want to see anyone hurt or maimed or wounded or whatever. Not like this. You just don't want to see it. It's not necessary. But it happens, and it happens because people are filled with hate, because the people in charge are filling their heads with hate, either in the schools or the politicians or these so-called sports heroes or these racial pimps like Kendi and Al Sharpton and those douchebags. Nothing good can come of this, unfortunately, and nothing good will come of this. That's all I got. My name is Brent Smith. I'm the Common Constitutionalist. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and do something else. Comment. That's it. See ya.